You do not have to know what comes next to know what must be left behind. And that is the real work of the overman, not to hand you new dogmas, but to invite you to let go, to teach you how to live without clinging, to show you that faith is not the opposite of doubt, but the discipline to move forward in spite of it. The known has gotten us this far, but it cannot take us to where we are going. So then, what is the unknown? The unknown is not a void. It's not chaos. It is not absence. It is potential. The unknown is a space where everything new comes from. It is the womb of all discovery, all invention, all innovation, and all meaning. It is the ocean of infinite possibility from which every idea, every life, every truth we have ever known has emerged, and into which every certainty we cling will eventually dissolve. The unknown is the source of all creation. But it is also the graveyard of every outdated god. It is what we fear because we cannot master it. It is what we avoid because we cannot map it. It is what we pretend to understand through myth, science, religion, and theory, but always at a distance, always through a fog. The unknown is the divine silence at the edge of our knowing. It is the reminder that we are not omniscient. It is the humbling proof that the universe does not revolve around us, but it is also the only place where growth is possible. Nothing evolves in the known. Nothing awakens in comfort. If you want to expand consciousness, if you want to become more than you are, you will have to pass through the unknown. And make no mistake, this is not an intellectual exercise. This is not a philosophical parlor game. This is survival. Because the unknown is not just out there, it is within you. It is every unanswered question you've buried underneath ambition. It is every fear you refuse to name. It is every contradiction that you pretend doesn't exist. It is every part of yourself that's still waiting to be met, still waiting to be lived, still wanting to be heard. The unknown is not your enemy. It is your mirror. And until you learn to look into it without flinching, you will never truly know yourself. This isn't mysticism. This isn't esoteric poetry. This is life. You arrived into the unknown. You were born into it, screaming, crying, confused, without language, without memory, without identity. And from that moment on, your entire human journey has been about making sense of what you couldn't understand. You crawled from unknown to known. You learned names for things. You learned rules. You learned who to love, who to fear, who to be. And then, like most people, you stopped. You mistook the known for safety. You mistook stability for wisdom. You mistook repetition for purpose. But the known was never the goal. It was only supposed to be a tool. And what you know is not a destination. It is a compass. And it is this light that carries you to move deeper into the unknown. But instead, we build governments that trap us in traditions. We build economies that reward only the familiar. We build religions that fear new questions. We build laws that pretend justice was already figured out by men who enslaved others. And we wonder why we feel stuck. We wonder why our leaders are hollow. We wonder why we are the richest generation in history, and also the most medicated, the most anxious, and the most spiritually bankrupt. It is because we abandoned the unknown.